Welcome to a quite chilly February 12th meeting. Glad to see as many people as we have here tonight, and hopefully we'll get our main speaker will be able to show up. My name's Jamie Tarn. I'm the president of the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. And what we usually do is go around the room, so to speak, and introduce. So I'll just call out when I see your name and you introduce yourself. And I do ask when you're speaking that you turn on your camera so we can at least see who we're speaking to. Otherwise, some nights I end up looking at a totally blank screen and it can be kind of disconcerting. So, Kristen, if she's there.
Oh, yep. I'm
Okay.
here. Hi, I'm Kristen. I am with the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County, Giselle's assistant and outreach coordinator.
Thanks. And Mike, your audio.
Get back. I'm eating some chips as a little snack after a long day.
Sorry to catch you.
So Michael Hentz, I work with the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council. My role is project coordinator within the Fire and Forestry Department. And I'm super happy to be here. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Mike. Giselle?
Giselle Nova, coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. Just talked to Erin. She's trying to get on right now.
Great,
Oh.
thanks. And Siskiyou Media Council, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Dave McAdams.
Dave, sorry, Dave.
Yeah, that's all right. Dave McAdams, the executive director for Siskiyou Media Council. So just enjoy listening here and seeing what we're trying to do and trying to help a little Siskiyou County out a little bit.
Thank you. And Jay Johnson, Cal Fire.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Jeremy Johnson, Cal Fire Siskiyou Unit Pre-Fire Engineer.
Sorry for not remembering names tonight. I spent all day outside in the cold, so maybe my brain's a little numb. Greg?
Greg Dinger, volunteer.
Ruby?
I'm Ruby. I'm Giselle's administrative assistant.
Thank you. Chris?
Good evening, everyone. Chris Christopherson, Forest Supervisor on the Klamath National Forest, and very glad to be joining you for my first meeting with you all. And just want to call out the important nature of the work that you do. And I know for many of you are volunteers, or this is added on to your daily work. And so thank you for seeing the need and then being willing to do something about it. And so I'm here primarily to listen and just absorb all that I can tonight.
Thanks, Chris. We're glad to finally see your face here with us. Thanks.
You bet.
Josh?
Hello, everyone. Josh Bean, Program Manager for the Community Wildfire Defense Grant, working alongside the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Okay, and Cal Fire again. I'm sorry, your name. Oh, your audio.
Jeremy, you are muted. Do you hear
No,
us?
that's not Jeremy.
Oh.
Yeah, Kevin might be having issues with his speaker. That's Kevin Manstebo, who is our new Assistant Chief of Hazard Mitigation.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Thanks. Assistant Chief Hazard Mitigation. Thank you. Greg? No, not Greg. We did Greg. Sorry, that screen was moving on me. Oh, Thule.
Hey all, I'm Thule Potts. I'm with the California Sierra Nevada Conservancy. Good to see you all.
Thank you, Thule. Greg Randazzo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gregory Randazzo. I am a program coordinator with CORE, working on the Community Wildfire Defense Grant alongside the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Thank you. Mike Griffintini?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm just new to the process and just learning whatever I can from watching the Zoom meeting today.
Oh, great. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Eric from Mickwick?
Good evening. Eric Dara with the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council. I'm the Fire and Forestry Program Director, and with the Orleans Somes Bar Fire Safe Council and Happy Camp Fire Safe Council.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Jen?
I'm Jen Erickson. I'm the Forest Fire Prevention Officer here on the Klamath National Forest.
Thanks, Jen. Nick Joslin?
I'm Nick Joslin. I work at the Mount Shasta Bioregional Ecology Center, and I'm the manager of the Community Fire Resiliency Program.
Okay, thank you. Julie?
Hi, Julie Titus. I'm community wildfire protection advocate. I do some consulting work, some volunteer work. I've been working with the Siskiyou Fire Safe Council group for quite a few years to help them out.
We consider her an honorary board member, even though she won't come on the board. Even if we when we beg her.
Plus, she's a fun musician.
Well,
Oh yeah, she's great.
Oh, that's funny.
Madeline?
Yeah.
Hi.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Madeline Lavaji, Quartz Valley resident and interested in listening and absorbing and hopefully one day applying this information locally.
Thanks, Madeline. Jerry?
Hi, Jerry Sullivan. I'm just a Mount Shasta homeowner. Concerned about fire, so want to learn all I can. Thank you.
Great. Well, welcome. And there's no just about it. It's you're an important part of what we do.
Thank you.
Gabriella?
Hi everyone, this is Gabby from CORE. I serve as a program coordinator on our climate and disaster prep team.
Thanks. Dan?
Hi, I'm Dan Blessing with the Shasta Valley RCD.
Hi, Dan. Sarah?
Hi, this is Sarah Chaffee. I'm the resilience planner with the city of Wairika, working in wildfire resilience and all things hazard.
Great, thanks. And Aaron Ryan? Did we do that? Yeah, okay.
Hi. I should be able to hear you. Camera doesn't work, but I think the microphone's fine.
Mike's fine.
Welcome, Aaron.
All right, we will okay. Oh, that's Aaron from the office of Doug Lamalfa. Oh, great. Glad you could make it, Aaron.
We had a couple more jump on there that you might not have seen. Jamie, Matt from CORE, and C. Sarmento, KTHA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just doing introductions. Matt, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. Matt Gazelle from CORE down in Los Angeles with supporting Siskiyou project.
And then we have Pindell. Is that Seth Pindell? Okay, trying. Looks like. And C. Sarmento from KTHA.
Yeah, this is Charles Sarmento from the Creek Chat Housing Authority in Wairika, California. I also have Randy. He'll introduce himself.
I'm Randy White. I also work for the Crook Tribe Housing Authority in Emergency Services.
Oh, great. Welcome, guys. All right. We'll move back and we'll just go ahead and move into Aaron, and welcome to our group. Nice to have you on board. We appreciate it very much. And I'm sure there will be a number of questions for you tonight. So I will just let you take the floor.
Okay. I know there's a lot of discussion about what they're. That's all totally up in the air. So I don't have any great insight for you other than, I mean, bottom line is if you're doing a program that is frivolous, poorly thought out, doesn't actually do anything, your program's in jeopardy. But most of the people that are doing real things are going to be fine. So I would think you would all be fine. I think there's also going to be a chance, an opportunity for us to weigh in on behalf of projects in our district, but the framework for that isn't quite done yet. I mean, they're like, what, a week into this? So it kind of fired the rockets and made everyone panic that all their stuff was going to be canceled. But I think it's really, really too soon. They're not looking at, you know, fire mitigation and that kind of thing at this point. They're looking at, you know, like what came out yesterday, people who are 150 years old receiving Social Security. So I think they have plenty of that stuff to look at for a while. I think it'd be good for a bit. But we're watching really carefully to make sure that programs in our district, especially things that involve fire, not to say that the other projects are not important, but fire absolutely is a huge focus. So that's what I have for you at this point. What we did develop, I guess I should tell you that, it was like 2 weeks ago when this all started. We did develop kind of a, I don't know, like a tell us about your program worksheet that we could submit to get waivers, but then that became unnecessary because they just weren't ready to deal with that. And none of it was, none of the things that were in our district were being cut. So that may be a thing in the future, and we'll watch for that.
So Aaron, are we paused or are we not paused?
You shouldn't be paused that I know of. Is someone telling you that you are?
Yeah, I did get, I won't say who, but someone in authority said they believed that our grant was blocked at the service center in Albuquerque. That our so, but
our friends in Albuquerque, God, aren't they helpful? Okay, so this is the thing.
Gabby's in the meeting, and then we'll have dinner.
Do what?
What's that, Nick?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted. I was talking to my little kid.
Hey, and this is Mike Hentz over in Happy Camp. Aaron, if you could share your screen, it'd be great to see you in person for the first time.
Yeah, no worries. It just, it doesn't work that way on this one. This is kind of a dud laptop. But okay, so two things. You have the, you know, a lot of misinformation coming out from the agencies. So there's that. Keep that in mind. And if you have someone who's giving you information who is kind of sure that there's a problem, you can always give them my phone number, the number that is on my card and is on the answering machine at work and all that I'm sure is probably on an email that went out somewhere. That's my personal number, not my work number. Anybody who calls that, there's nothing that's shared with our office that's available to the public. So they can't file a freedom of information to find out like who we're talking to. So if you have somebody at an agency who's got some information, I don't need their name. I'm not writing a book. If they give me a call and say, hey, look, this fire safe council or whatever it is going to have problems, we've been notified, I would be grateful for that information because I can go look based on what they tell me. And they can't get in trouble for it because I don't have to tell anybody where I got the update. Or you can get it from them and give it to me. So that's always a possibility too.
Hey, Aaron, can you share yet that phone number just in case we need?
Absolutely.
Madam
It's
Chair.
super public, so you can give it to whoever you want. It's 530-515-7135.
Thanks so
And,
much.
and yeah, and if that ever gets lost or you're somewhere and if they call the office, if they call the Reading office, and Laura will give it to you if she's there. If she's not, it's on the answering machine. So it's easy. So I would say, like with your person at Albuquerque or whatever that's saying that your grant is in jeopardy, be super helpful if they called me. I don't care if they block their number and don't share their name. I don't really care. Doesn't matter. Just tell me what it is they're hearing. If they could just tell me what they're hearing and maybe give me a way to run that back through their system, I'd be more than happy to do that. And that way we can get a straight answer.
And I think that's a lot of our issue. We're not, and understandably, we're not getting a straight answer from the agency because I don't think they have a straight answer to give. I don't think from talking to them, they know what is going on either. So they're tending to be conservative on their answers to us. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands what we're talking about. The Community Wildfire Defense Grant that we've been working on for the last year and a half. It's a 5-year grant, was part of everything that was put on pause, signed by executive order by the president. And then it's been confusion for us since to know whether we can go forward or not, because the way this grant works, you have to do the work and then submit an invoice and then we get paid. We didn't get the lump sum sitting in our bank account. And so for us, it's been a little bit of a scramble because we have contractors and employees and people who have to get paid. And what do we do if we go ahead and do work, but then we don't, and we submit, or we can't even submit an invoice, and then if we don't have the money to pay people? So that's kind of where we're sitting, Aaron.
It's kind of like we learned about that in Popeye, right? You know, pay you for a hamburger Tuesday if you give it to me today.
Right, exactly. It's that type of thing.
Same program.
And so we want to be transparent with everybody. We do have some monies in, and our board has decided to continue work, even though it's a bit more limited, which actually with this weather kind of goes, it's okay because the weather is limiting us anyway in our field work that we can do. But we're decided to work for a month, and then at the end of the month, seeing what happens and where we can go next with our partners core who we're working with.
Have your person at Forest Service who's hearing this or thinks that they've got some insight, if they could give me a call, that'd be super helpful, because we're like today, just an example, the VA out of Sacramento put out an email to all of their employees yesterday from their communications person or whatever, that there was going to be this massive change to veterans benefits. That was false. And so like 6:30 last night, they pulled that email from their system. It disappeared. And then a different one went out that said, oh, wait, that was a mistake. But meanwhile, all day yesterday, people were in a panic, and that was never a thing. It was never happening. So maybe if your person could call me, just, if they feel better about it, have them block their number. I don't care. I work with a lot of people who are informants in agencies, and I'm not giving anybody up. That doesn't serve anybody's purpose. But if they could give me an idea of where they're hearing that, it would be faster to run it down that way. Because if we ask the agency, they'll just say, oh, no, that's not a thing.
And I want to be clear that when we're talking about Forest Service people, we're not talking about the local Klamath National Forest or the Shasta Tea. We are talking about the people who are running our grant through the Washington office,
Right.
and Albuquerque.
Right.
So it doesn't do any good if you want to yell at Chris tonight or Natalie if she was here, or Jen, because these are not the people who have the strings on our grant monies.
Yeah, no worries. I'd like to be able to get an answer from you. So if they're getting that from their main office, it'd be good to know kind of how that's coming out so that we
Yeah.
can follow it from a different angle and confirm.
Well,
Well,
one concern I had was that we got a out of office from one of our contacts that Giselle's dealing with, email response when we were submitting.
So this is our grant is through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act that was put into place. And my person said that particular source of money is under question and that it was on pause, but I've never heard that from anybody else. So I will, Erin, get her information or ask her to call you if she would. And we'll see where we can go from there.
Okay. She
Hey.
should know that she's not under the microscope with us, but
Right, right.
you might explain that if you need to.
Yeah, I'll tell her that it's all confidential and she can just talk with you. So,
Yeah, just tell her not to use her work email. I mean,
yeah.
that's where the wheels fall off. Like
Mhm.
we can't spy on them, but they spy on themselves. So just have her call me.
Okay.
Do I have any other concerns or questions? Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
Not a question, but since I'm sitting here and, just for everyone's knowledge, but Aaron, yeah, I would love to chat with you probably tomorrow if you've got time. And actually, I'll be down in Reading if you're going to be around there. But what we've been told is that all G&A payments are currently on pause. And there will be a process coming out soon regarding funds that are not bill or IIJA. And so if you've got bill funded right now, those are paused and we don't have a mechanism to move those forward. And it is very concerning because of delays that will be stacking up, not only for this project, but we've got a huge project down in Syad called Syad Thin that we've got contract work with Wild Turkey Federation for doing survey work on it. And they are ready to get going as soon as they've got conditions. And right now they're saying the same thing. We don't know if we can get going because of the funding being paused. And so the consequences are going to snowball as we get into the field season, because we're hoping to have a signed decision on that Syad Thin, which has potentially 50 million board feet coming out in WUI area. And we need to move that forward. So yeah, Aaron, so I would love to chat with you and share what we're hearing internally and figure out if we can, how we can help move these projects forward.
Yeah,
That
because
sounds real
that's
similar.
not the kind of stuff they're looking at. They're looking at things that are, that are
Right.
soaring off the rails, right?
Yeah, and so if we can be part of the solution and help the congressman then move information.
You're not doing Sesame Street videos or anything, are you?
What's that?
You're not doing Sesame Street videos or anything, are you?
Not yet, but if that'll help unlock the funding.
Those are particularly unpopular. Stay away from the Sesame Street videos.
Well,
But
I
no,
was never a fan.
yeah, really. I'll double check in my share drive while I'm on this computer and see if there is a submit form on projects. And I just want to make sure I don't want people to fill stuff out if it doesn't do anything. So I just want to double check on that. Make sure it's useful. And good luck getting to Reading tomorrow. I wasn't sure I could get up to your end, so I'm not sure you can get to mine. It's supposed to be pretty bad.
Really? Well, I might be working remote.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, just call me.
Yes. So Aaron, yeah, I'm with the RCD, Shasta Valley RCD, and we're hearing the same thing. Most of it's coming from the California Association of RCDs that's working with the state and private forestry. But we have, 10 grants that we've been told are on hold right now. A lot of them are the fire disaster recovery ones, to kind of get into where the fires were and get rid of the slash and reforest. And so we have a lot of trees in the ground that we're hoping to plant here pretty soon. And so it's starting to get critical for us, to hear that, we can move forward. But, we've been told to, cease and desist, from folks for the moment. So any help that you can have, send our way, that'd be great.
Yeah, because it was initially like all the, everything was stopped, and then within a day or so, it was kind of like, all right, there's no way to vet all of these projects in a timely fashion. So they decided, okay, that was kind of a bad move. Let's go with more of a targeted review. So I guess I need to ask what the agencies are being told or what they think they're being told, because like I said, some of them are kind of making up their own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Any help you can get, to release these funds would be fantastic.
So who from the agencies would you like to talk to, Aaron?
Well, if you have somebody who thinks they know where the holdup is, that would be useful. And then I can double check and make sure that's actually really happening, and they're not just being told that.
Okay.
Like I said, yeah, yesterday VA was told all these benefit programs that are enshrined in law. I mean, they don't get to do that. That's not where the changes happen. That wasn't true. And yet you had people in 15 counties who were told that. So it's worth double checking.
Julie has her hand raised.
Yep. Julie.
Is that so? Just curious then, is that also true with, because the same kind of rumors went out about hiring freezes? I believe that also hit hard. And are you also thinking that, or do you have knowledge about that too, Aaron?
Well, I mean, the government's a big place, right?
Well, of course.
Yeah. If I could tell you what was going on with
So,
hiring.
I mean, yeah, I just wonder if that's like, that might be rumor too, that's gonna just change again, or what? I mean, I don't know.
Well, we're what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in?
Yeah, it's true.
3 weeks in, right? And there's kind of a vested interest in making everybody hysterical. So there's that, overlay that, so,
Okay.
and then what certain agencies are gonna do, right? So if they're looking at their budgets, are they gonna do a hiring freeze? They could. That could have nothing to do with any of the reviews that are going on, financial reviews. So could
Yeah,
some,
it's just
could
so
some agency
contradictive,
doing a
with this
review?
fire,
Maybe.
yeah, and like you said with fire, I mean, all of a sudden hiring freezes for firefighters and stuff that they're trying to, it just completely, doesn't, a lot of things are not making sense or adding
Yeah,
up.
that doesn't make any sense.
No. So, okay.
Doesn't mean it isn't happening, but
Okay, thanks.
sorry.
Excuse me, this is
I wish I
Marlene.
could I wish I could channel the whole thing and condense it down for you, but there are a lot of moving parts at the moment.
Marlene, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I came in a little bit late because I was burning something on the stove, which is how I usually cook. Anyway, I'm sorry, Erin, where are you from?
Go ahead. Sorry, that was my computer.
Yeah. Erin, where are you from?
Well, I'm
No, I mean, who are
from
you?
Spokane, but I grew up in Connecticut, but I live in Reading now.
No. I mean, who are you representing, or
Congressman Malfa.
You're obviously official.
Congressman Lamalfa's office.
Oh, okay. So, so does he know what's going on? Because I mean, I mean, he's on apparently good terms with the president, who, well, let's face it, doesn't like California. So what, I mean, are we going to have a national forest service? Or are they getting rid of that?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's at that point yet. I don't know anything about that. I think they're looking at, what everybody's doing. Where's all the, where is the money going and is it doing what it's supposed to? And it's basically an audit, like any audit. You find stuff, you don't find stuff. Some of the things you think you're going to find aren't there. Some you don't even anticipate are there. So they've just started. They have literally just started.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron, I think, the some of the point here is it's not the question of an audit or are grants being looked into or the grant process or anything like that. It's just the process, the way it was announced and done, and all of a sudden we're put on pause, and it's kind of like a shock and awe syndrome, and we're in the awe stage of not knowing. And it threw not only us, but lots of people within and outside agencies and within the grant community into I don't want to use the term of hysteria, but confusion and chaos, I will say.
Sure.
And it's not that, to me, confusion and chaos is not efficient way to get things done. And especially because we were having on our end for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County is to have a bunch of emergency meetings and trying to figure out what we do now if we are cut off from our funding for this grant, and what we're looking at other grants and stuff. Because we don't have, grants are the only way we have to do work with, we can't get fundraising, typical standard nonprofit fundraising for our niche. So it's just been a little bit of gut wrenching. And if you can send that message back to Doug and letting him know that there are more efficient ways to.
Well, you have to remember, you're kind of talking to the wrong branch of government. This isn't this isn't the legislature that's doing it. This is the executive branch.
I understand that.
So, they're gonna do what they're gonna do at the moment. And our whole focus is to, fire is not something that somebody's looking to cut, right? Fire management and all that, especially in this state. That's not one of those things where people are going, oh, I think they're blowing a bunch of money on, on fire prevention.
I think that's true, Aaron, but at the same time,
that's
while we're
not-
paused, we're delaying, and it's causing us maybe to not be able to get stuff done that we need to do within the season. And so if we could see some way to expedite particularly fire grants so that we can move forward efficiently and get our projects completed or worked on, that's what we're looking for. How can we get some kind of verification that we can move? And that's what, and it might take 3 months, 90 days, they're saying. We're hopeful that we can get, intel and confirmation sooner than that so we can get started on our stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take that long to get any answers. I was trying to open some stuff and look at it while we were on here. There's a federal funding form. Let me keep working on it while you guys are having your meeting, and if I can come up with this before we are done, I can send it to you.
Thank you, Aaron. And I'll take a quick break here, and we had a few more people join us. Marlena, want to introduce yourself, please?
Is that Marlene?
Marlene.
Oh, she might have went back to the stove.
And
No,
Donna?
I'm sorry, I didn't, I forgot to turn my sound back on.
No.
Anyway, I'm Marlene Ludlow, and I live in the Shasta Uplands, and I just try to make myself aware of what's happening here, and the rest of the country and yeah, it's fun anyway. And
Thank you, Marlene.
this is a great group. I love you guys. You're just so helpful and wonderful, and thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you.
Thanks. Bonna?
Hey there, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. It's working for once. Hi, my name is Bonna Freeze. I work for Salmon River Restoration Council and help facilitate the Salmon River Fire Safe Council out here. And yeah, I have to run, but I wanted to pop in for that first half of the meeting and hear Aaron's thoughts. We're also dealing with some of our grants being on hold right now, or paused over here on the Salmon River. So just curious, how everybody's moving through this process and these times, and yeah, just wanted to get an update there, and yeah, we'll hopefully find the road ahead sooner rather than later.
Well, since Bonna, excuse me, Jamie, I was just wondering if since Bonna has to hop off, if she wants to give her update for her Fire Safe Council now.
Okay, Bonna, can you give us a quick update?
Yeah, definitely. We this last year we just got our Fire Safe Council meetings back up and running for our in-person quarterly meetings. So we had a full year of regular quarterly meetings in person, which was really great. We're going to continue that. We have our next Fire Safe Council meeting coming up in Cecilville on February 26th. And we're hoping that that'll be in person, but obviously weather dependent on whether or not people can make it over the passes. Yeah, and Salmon River Restoration Council side of things, we've been just moving some projects forward. We've been doing a lot of burning out here on the salmon, getting through a lot of our pile units. We did a broadcast burn out here during the Klamath Treks event, which was really great to get broadcast burning back out on the Salmon River, and hopefully we'll keep charging ahead with that with our partners downriver. And yeah, we have some hazard tree projects on private property moving forward right now, which has been really wonderful. Cocoa AIM is funding that, and that has just been really great because that's a funding gap that we've had for a long time, and also one that is that just told us that we were on pause. So yeah, excited to get past that pause so that we can keep getting hazard trees down. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a brief overview. We're looking forward into some more cut pile projects on private property and public lands, working with the Klamath National Forest and the Bear Country Project to do a certain number of acres up within that project on public lands. So that's a really great new piece of our work that we're looking forward to collaborating with Klamath on. Yeah, I think that's a quick synopsis.
Bonna, what time is your meeting at Cecilville?
It's from 2 to 4.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Joseph, do you want to give a quick introduction, please?
Hi, sorry about that. My name is Yosef Jalil, and I'm the California Area Director of CORE. We're a nonprofit that is a subgrantee of the Fire Safe Councils, and we're working on this Community Wildfire Defense Grant. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And then Jody? Jody, are you there? Can you introduce yourself? All right, well, some people are shy. Oh, her mic is down. Okay, see in chat. So, all right, we'll continue on. And then if Aaron has anything to add, you're welcome just to cut in, Aaron, and let us know any information. Next up on our agenda is the Klamath River Basin Wildfire Crisis Strategy Landscape. Do we have anybody there? Chris, do you have anything on that? I don't see Clint.
Clint is not on. He's the proud father of an unexpected baby that's a very preemie. But yeah, I can provide a general update on the Klamath River Basin landscape. And so we just met today to go over our program of work and work on some updates there. We are going to be having an on-forest training for some of the new landscape level planning tools that are being developed both at our regional office and then in partnership with a group, I believe it's called Blue Forest. And no, that's not the right group. So strike that. But the point being is that we've got some powerful new tools to look at fuel loading, stand density, landscape, and then to tweak what the project is for and whether it be for community protection or for any other specific attribute we're trying to get out of it. So we'll be doing that internally, and then we will also be offering road shows with partners to look at some of these large data runs that we have that identify like 20,000 acre project areas. And we just utilized this recently. I mentioned Syad Thin, and this has been a project that came from the district. And I said, hey, time out. Let's make sure that this project is where it should be, and use some of these new analytical tools. And we did that. We ran the data set, and sure enough, we validated the people that have been working on the ground for years know what they're doing. And so that's comforting, but also we'll be able to do that on a large landscape. And then the interesting thing about this is that these tools should also be able to predict how much material, whether it's like a tons per acre, should be coming off of an area that's treated. And so ideally this will help business people, entrepreneurs that are interested in, if there's enough material, that they can then have secured feedstock and then go to a bank or a lending institution and say, hey, for the next X number of years, we're going to be able to have this much material coming off the landscape. So pretty interesting to see how we can leverage the tool and then help support economic development in this in rural northeastern California. So that's what I have for Klamath River Basin, and then also we have that Syad Thin. We're hoping to have a decision on that. I think first quarter in 26. Estimated volume on that is going to be around 50 million board feet. So a huge project, and looking forward to moving that forward. Also, we've got our South End project, which is on the Goose Nest, which is a large landscape level analysis. And then we on the Salmon Scott Ranger District, we are retooling I believe it's the River project. That was heavy salvage based. That opportunity is now gone based on the time since the fire, but we're still looking at dealing with a lot of hazard trees along the roads, and reforestation, and then also large scale prescribed fire reintroduction in that area. And with that, I will pause for any questions.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Chris, on that with Salmon River. You said they've gone past the prime time for salvaging. Is that due to quality of lumber then for that?
Correct.
Because from a fire standpoint, though, that's still a huge fire hazard, and whether you get quality timber out of there or not is just going back into those areas when they start burning again. It puts firefighters at much higher risk.
Right. Yeah, there's going to be long-term fuel loading issues,
Yeah, so the question is, I guess this is a there's a broad scale universal question, what can we do with these large landscapes that are burned over without just waiting for them to burn a second and third time?
Right. And I'm a proponent of, treating the fuels and having that as part of the analysis, and whether you're running, fire through there and then burning those under more favorable conditions in combination with mechanical treatment to get them on the ground. So, yeah, needed work, expensive work, and I have not seen the latest iteration of the proposed action. And so, yeah, Jamie, good question.
Well, Salmon River's always in my heart. So
Yeah.
I was the division chief on Salmon River for 10
Oh,
years. So.
yeah. I heard you were retired Klamath. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm retired Klamath, 21 years on the Klamath.
Gotcha.
Okay. Thank you, Chris, for that update. Appreciate it.
Julie's got her hand up.
Who does? Oh, Julie, thank you. Go ahead. Thanks, Kristen.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, I just was curious as far as decision support tool, are you guys using Vibrant Planet or is it a 34 North tool or something?
Vibrant Planet. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And it sounds like you're finding some consistencies between like the staff planning and then Vibrant Planet. So I just would love to pick your brain more just about how that's going. So offline, I'll connect with you. And
Sounds good. Yeah. So far, we're 100%.
Awesome. Good to hear. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Kristen, thanks for keeping watch for me. Community wildfire defense grant. Well, I think you heard most of the update. With the pause and the confusion, we're just we've kind of pulled back the reins a little bit, and we've made the decision that we are going to go ahead for the next month with home assessments so soon as the weather allows us to do that. And we're going to move forward as much as we can, and we're getting everything ready. So when the pause is unpaused, then we'll be ready. We're setting up our bids, getting ready for that so they can go out to contractors to do the fuel reduction work in those home assessment areas. So that's kind of where we're at. We're kind of in limbo right now, but we're doing behind the scenes work. So we're ready. We'll be ready to move forward. Hopefully, when we can get out there in full force with the weather lets us. Any additions to that one? Giselle or Kristen, Josh?
Josh, maybe. Yeah. Josh, you have something?
You nailed it, Jamie. Yeah, just getting things lined up to fly out to bid. Cecilville's been flagged and we're just pending those bids. A few late assessments came in, which was good. So we were able to get back out there and get their work flagged out as well. Scott Bauer questionnaires have been sent out and landowner agreements. Callahan, we got some home assessments pending. We haven't done any assessments there. So when the snow melts, it's going to be exciting to get out to Callahan and meet some residents. And then big shout out to Greg Randazzo, our project coordinator. He's been working closely with the Wairika Fire Safe Council, a little collaboration there, helping them out with some home assessments as well. We are also still looking for a fellow to join the crew and help with home assessments and outreach. I will plug that information into the chat. And also, if you know anybody in Callahan, Cecilville, Hamburg, or in Siskiyou County who's looking for a home assessment, that link will also be in the chat. But thank you, Jamie. That's all I had.
Okay, great. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, still looking for people. Anybody want to work? So we'll move on. And Jen, did you want to give any more update than your boss did?
Oh,
Gave a pretty good update. But I've got a couple little things to share. Just right now, we're pretty much snowed out of our pile burning. It looks like Happy Camp may be looking at burning some piles in the Slater Fire footprint. They're working with wildlife to get some of the LOPs looked at and see if they can get them lifted and do some more pile burning out there. The Lovers Camp sale up by the Lovers Camp trailhead is being solicited right now. So that's good news. It's about 650 acres and 3/4 of it is in Wooey. We had another timber sale sell, the 39er timber sale over by Godfrey Ranch on the Salmon River. And that was 300 acres entirely in Wooey. So that's good news. And then I learned today that we're looking at bringing some SCA crews back to the Goose Nest for next field season, 2 5-person crews, and they'll be working on fuels reduction in around Bray and Ore Mountain. So that's that juniper reduction that they've been doing out there.
Jen, for the non-Forest Service people, you want to say what your acronyms are, the SCA.
Oh, SCA, Student Conservation Association.
Thank you.
Thank you. Busted.
Yeah, that's all right.
And
Angry.
there was another one too. It's so hold on.
Wooey? Is it Wooey?
LLP, which limited operating plan.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Yeah, sorry. That's it. LOP, it just is a wildlife term where we'll put stuff in place for certain nesting periods of different species. But we can bring wildlife biologists out on the ground to see if that in fact is happening as far as the nesting is. And if they determine that nothing is going on there, then we can get back to doing our work on the ground. Thanks, Julie.
Great. Thank you, Jen. Chris, do you have any other things to offer us for an update?
Not at this juncture.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Always looking for partner money and ways to get more work done, though.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think we have anybody from the Shasta Tea tonight, Joe or Brian here. I don't think so. All right. Cal Fire, Jeremy, are you doing Cal Fire?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give the floor to Chief Mancebo for his intro and unit updates, and then Chief Pendel for the fuel reduction project updates. And then I'll go over grants last.
Good evening, everybody. How's my microphone working now?
Great.
All right, great. Yeah, so as Jeremy said, I'm the new assistant chief in charge of hazard mitigation. So really what that's has oversight on is the VMP, Vegetation Management Program, VTP, basically all of our fuels work. My brief background, I'm coming from CAL FIRE Shasta Trinity Unit. I was the battalion chief, much like Seth was down there. Got to lead a hard charging group, and we got just about 5,000 black acres in last year in Shasta Trinity. So I'm excited to be here with the Siskiyou team, with Seth and the folks and the foundation that they've got set here. We got to have a great meeting today with the RCD, with Dan and his people, common visions. And then today, throw in this meeting here with the Fire Safe Council, Shasta County. I think we can do things. I'm just looking to get my feet on the ground, share a common vision, life, property, and the environment. That's what we're looking to better. And I'm sure all you folks are doing the same thing. So I did want to just give a quick throw my phone number out there for contact information. It is a new phone number, and that's area code 530-598-2606. And so anybody feel free to reach out or just send me your contact information. I'm working on building my contact database. So please send me your contact, especially the federal counterparts. I'm looking to get a hold of all the fuels folks on the Shasta T on the KNF. So let's see, unit update. That's somewhat business as usual. It's cold outside, nothing new and breaking news for the rest of you out there. Wow, it was amazing to see -2 on the thermometer this morning coming through Edgewood. For the unit, a few things that are different right now. Maybe not the most positive thing, but in reaction to the effects of the fires in Southern California, we have statewide brought in additional staffing. So currently in the Siskiyou unit, we're staffing 7 fire engines 24/7. So that's a significant bolster from what we typically have. So in the fire safe community, that may not have an impact, but for all taxpayers, I think that's a banging deal right there. But in the fuel side of things, what I can tell you is our 2 Siskiyou firefighter crews, they are back online. Those guys got, I think, a grand total of 31 days off this winter, and we brought them back online January 17th, I believe. So they're out. I know they were out burning piles today. And, you know, I'm working with the resource management folks and Seth and both the Jeremys. We're just building our plan to move forward and be successful in all the fuel treatment we can. And even just in discussions today, hearing that you know, some of the fire safe councils may be getting monies for fuels treatment, that whatever we can do to help facilitate that, please reach out to myself or Seth or Jeremy Ravenscroft, and we'd like to help put a big foot forward. So that's really the quick summary of what's going on in the unit. A new face, another bald head in this office. I did live in the county for 16 years in Grenada, so I am a transplant, but fairly familiar with the ongoings and just looking forward to being part of the team. So I'll leave it there for any questions for me directly, and if not, I'll pass it on to Seth.
Hey, Kevin, can you put your telephone number and your title in the chat, please?
I'll do that when I'm not talking, if that works for you.
All right.
Yes, I will do that.
Well, welcome back to Siskiyou County. Glad to have you here.
Appreciate it.
And then you said, Jeremy, you said Seth wanted to speak to us tonight.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yeah.
You can. Okay, good. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Seth Pindell, Battalion Chief, Fuels Battalion Chief in Siskiyou. A lot of you I've met and know, but if you don't have my number, it is 598-2616. So any fuels related questions you have, you can call me. We have some resources available and we're here to assist. So if you have projects you have questions on or looking for possible assistance or tools to get work done, contact me and I'll see what I can do to help. Right now, currently we have our one of our main projects is the Osgood VTP project, which is above the city of Wairika that we're working on currently, and we're cutting and piling and burning piles. That we're anticipating that to in the near future to start broadcast burning up there early summer and then the following summer. Right now, the first treatment is the cutting and the piling. From there, we have the Spencer Ranch VTP in Scott Valley is another location we're currently working on and burning piles. Third project we have that we're working on is the Siskiyou County flood control out at Lake Siskiyou. We've been doing some hazard cleanup from the storms, some pile burning and piling. And then we also have a few broadcast burns out there that we have prepped and waiting for
Not bad.
prescription to come in. And that is the main projects we're doing right now, other than the snow. And we're waiting for some dry weather like everybody else.
Okay, thanks, Seth. And Jeremy?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Jeremy Johnson. I'm the pre-fire engineer for CAL FIRE up in the Siskiyou unit. I handle a lot of the behind the scenes fuel reduction reporting that goes out, as well as working with the ArcGIS program, doing a lot of the mapping functions. And I'll leave a link to my email and phone number once I'm done talking. So I just want to give an update for the grants program. I spoke with the North Region Grants Shop this afternoon, and they wanted to pass along that solicitation period will happen again this calendar year. So sometime between now and December 31st, they're going to have two different funding sources for the wildfire prevention grants. And they wanted to pass along that one of those sources will have some new rules and some new parameters, kind of tighter tolerances, but that there'll be two different funding sources. So more to come once I get the information from the North Region Grants folks. And unless anyone has questions for me, I'll go ahead and mute.
Thanks, Jeremy. Okay, we'll move through this. I don't believe Caltrans is here. If I miss somebody, just stop me. Shasta Valley RCD. Dan, you're still with us? There you are, Dan.
Yeah, somehow I think. Yeah, so as mentioned before, we have quite a few of our projects on hold right now, but we still, we're taking advantage quite a bit of that good weather we had in January. We had a lot of projects going at the time. Specifically working in McLeod, around the community. We're doing about 400 acres of fuel breaks there. Doing a lot of work in West Mount Shasta, doing some defensible space. And then we also have a couple of grants to ultimately do about 3,000 acres of fuel reduction in that area. Also working in Scott Valley a bit, working up on Scott Bar Mountain, McKinley Mountain area. There's a fuel break that we're doing on industrial lands up there. It's about 2,000 acres, and that's we're trying to get that moving through this winter. Unfortunately, there's some short timelines with some of these state grants. And let's see, also working, I think Seth mentioned it, but we're doing the brush removal on Spencer Ranch and Scott River Ranch on the east side of the valley there too. So yeah, still got quite a few projects moving for a winter time. I think most people are wanting to stay away from doing too much mechanical treatments in summer. And so, when we have good weather periods like we had, in January, take advantage of those. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Let me see, where are we at? University of California, not here. Orcal RC&D, Siskiyou Prescribed Burn Association. Dan, do you have anything on that, or Patty's not here?
Yeah, just that we met with Kevin and Seth today and some of the other folks from CAL FIRE and had just a really great talk about how we can partner with them to get more burning done in the county. And I'm just excited. I think, CAL FIRE is putting together a really great team, to get some burning done. And we're excited as part of the PBA, along with some other partners here like MCWIC and all, and Scott River Watershed Center, to participate with them and really try to push things forward.
Great, thanks, Dan. Then the Scott River Watershed Council, Mount Shasta Bioregional Ecology Center.
Hey, it's dinner time. Sorry. So, yeah, we don't get federal funding, so we're not frozen, but we do get foundation money. And so we are looking to refresh for our program, which supports communities, helping organize and get them to know each other better. We work real close with CAL FIRE in that process. And we're getting ready to support Dunsmuir for their Green Waste Day that's coming up. We'll bring our volunteers and our new tool trailers and hopefully do some clearing around some people's houses in Dunsmuir. And then they will haul that all off to, some of it's going to be composted and then some of it gets landfilled.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Sierra Nevada Conservancy.
Thanks, Jamie. Not a lot of update. We are still waiting to hear, as a state funding agency, we're still waiting to hear about our Prop 4 funding rollout timeline. It's looking like it won't likely be this calendar year. So, but we do have monies earmarked in Prop 4 for wildfire recovery and forest resilience work in that. So we'll keep everybody posted as we get closer to that. But thanks for all the great work you guys are doing.
Thanks. Siskiyou County OES, they're probably pretty busy. I had a eye-opening experience today driving out to the Shasta Valley Wildlife Refuge. There was tons of trucks. I can't even tell you how many private pickup trucks and cars going to pick up water, because that area's lost their ability to have water. So it's being handed out, and the whole road was backed up with traffic control and everything, so people can go get water out in the past the Montague, or on the way to the Montague area. So probably Siskiyou County OES was involved in that, I would imagine. I just hadn't heard very much about it. Nancy is not on. Supervisor Nancy Ogren's not on tonight unless she came on. Red Cross, Pacific Power.
A little bit
you're-
on Red Cross. Joe Bergman, who was their administrator in Siskiyou County, has stepped back, and they will be having a new person. I don't know who it is, but they will be coming on soon.
Who's that for? You said Red Cross?
Red Cross, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Pacific Power's not here. USDA NRCS. Siskiyou Air's not on. The sheriff's not on. CHP and Siskiyou County Natural Resources. Okay, anything on the Stevens funding, Giselle?
Jen may have something.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so there was a late call for Stevens funded proposals, and we received a few from folks. We have them, and we will be talking with the districts about them and assessing their capacity to support them. So that's pretty much where we're at with it. We have them now, and I encourage folks to continue to send those kinds of projects in as they come up, so that we can get them vetted and and kind of tightened up, so that when these opportunities come up, we're ready to strike. So thank you for getting us that information.
How can they do that? Just put a synopsis of their project and email it to you, or what?
Yeah, and I guess just for folks' understanding about Stevens Funds projects, there's multiple names for this. So some call it Wyden Amendment projects, some call it pass-through projects, but it's essentially for fuels reduction projects that are adjacent to or close to federal lands. And it doesn't have to be necessarily Forest Service, it can be BLM. But there has been a mechanism in place for the last several years for people to put in proposals to receive some of these Stevens funds to implement their fuels reductions work adjacent to public lands. So anything, like, the best way for us to continue with this is to any of those projects as they come up, reach out to us. You can reach out to me or Josh Schmallenberger and give that to us so we can build our library of these things, so that we have them and we can talk with the rangers ahead of time.
Okay, thanks, Jen. Okay, local fire safe council updates. Black Mountain, it's not here.
Nothing new? No.
Yeah, Butte Valley.
Butte Valley's working on a fuel reduction project in Bray, and we're continuing that project.
Okay, Copco Lake.
Not here.
Dunsmuir.
I don't see Dunsmere, but Kristen, you were there at their meeting. Do you have anything that you could add for them?
Yeah, so they are, they just had a first planning meeting yesterday for a kind of combined three-way hazard mitigation plan, community wildfire protection plan, and what was the other one? Tuli, you were there if you remember, but they're all very similar essentially, and they are going to be going through the process of engaging the community and the public. This meeting yesterday was not a public meeting; it was a partner and stakeholder planning meeting, and there'll be a whole bunch more of those coming up throughout the rest of the calendar year. If you're interested in any of that, like maybe Sarah Chafee, I'm sure she is connected in with Stephen Decatur, is the hazard mitigation planner, or I think his job title kind of switched over to resilience planner. So he is the one in charge of all of that down in Dunsmuir, is on city staff. And yeah, so we'll be seeing how much we can, collaborate with them on their CWPP element of that planning, as we will be starting to update our county level CWPP as well. And yeah, like Nick Jocelyn mentioned, they are planning for their spring Green Waste Day that just keeps building. The momentum with that has been pretty awesome to see the last couple years, with how much cubic yards are coming out of the people's backyards every two times a year. It's really awesome. Every other city should be following there. I know Wairika has been doing similar community green waste days, so that's awesome. Need to see more of that. So it's great that we've got more collaborators coming online to bring the tool trailer. I know McConnell Foundation also has been helping out down in Dunsmuir, like the Ecology Center is going to do, getting the properties done that, elderly, disabled folks that can't get all their green waste cleared out, much less transport it to the green waste days. So yeah, really kind of a model flagship project they got going down there. That's about it.
And the third component is the safety element of their general plan that they're updating as well.
That's what it was. Thank you, Julie.
Okay, thank you. And then Greater Weed.
Well, for Greater Weed, we have received a grant from CAL FIRE to create a CWPP in that area, the Greater Weed area, which would probably include Hammond's Ranch. We haven't delineated exactly. Kristen will be the lead, and she's putting that out to bid as we speak. And so
tomorrow, hopefully. So if anyone wants to be on that email list for possible contractors, put your email in the chat.
Okay.
Hammond Ranch.
They aren't on here tonight, but they are in the works with trying to get their Firewise community going. A kind of medium scale one with around 400 properties. So we've been helping them with that last fall. And yeah, haven't heard from them lately, but I think they're working amongst themselves to get organized. So
Thank you. Happy Camp, Orleans, Soames Bar, Mickwick, Mike.
Hello, everybody. It was great to have Aaron on tonight. I think we're all learning a lot. I think there's still some uncertainty. Our crews in Orleans and Happy Camp are on furlough, and we've extended it because the winter has just been so significant. We'll plan on bringing them back in early March and continue our work. We're putting in an application for Firewise Community, and we're building an advisory committee, and some of you might have gotten an email from me today. But basically, we are planning on continuing our efforts, and I really appreciate everybody on the call. I know it's a tricky, trying time, but we're all going to continue and do our best. And I look forward to the next month's meeting where we may learn a little more about how to continue. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Horse Creek. Okay, Juniper Flat.
They do have a event coming up that Glenn Jystad is one of our board members. He is a Horse Creek resident and also the one of the leads on this McKinney Fire Long-Term Recovery Group. And he just was talking about they have a outreach event coming up in March that hopefully we'll get more information about. So that's a wildfire prep kind of community outreach day. So
Yeah, I was just looking for my notes to see what dates were on, but I don't have that in front of me.
yeah, end of March they were shooting for. So
yeah. Okay, thanks. Juniper Flat, anything out there? Giselle, do you know?
Nope. She's hoping when the prevention grants come open again, they're going to reapply for more work in that area. So no, that's all I got for that area.
Okay, Klamath River, Lake Shastina.
Lake Shastina, we have an approved vegetation treatment plan thanks to Vestra and the Shasta Valley RCD. And so now we're moving to implementation. We've got, I don't know, 20–30% signed up. It's for ingress and egress, not defensible space, but we still need, because we're going to up to 200 feet, I believe, on either side of the road, we need landowners to sign on to that. So we're working on that right now. And there's also, they have a chipper program out there. So if you're from that area, you might want to tie in with that program.
Okay, thanks. Lower Scott, McLeod, Mount Shasta area.
Well, in the Mount Shasta area, we have a project along Ream from Cantera all the way to Ream along Old Stage. And that's on hold currently because of all the snow on the ground. But we're getting close to completing that. And I think everybody out there is pleased. So anyway, we're moving forward, as I said, and that is a federal grant, but I don't think it's on pause because it's already over 2/3 done. So anyway.
Okay. Quartz Valley, Salmon River, Syad Valley, Wairika, George is in here. And then wanted to make
From
sure.
the city of Wairika.
Oh, yeah. Please go, Sarah.
Hi everybody. Resilience planner with the city of Wairika. I and Decatur, we kind of do similar things. And as Kristen mentioned, we do our green waste days. And these are open for the entire county right now. We have an air burner grant that we're using through CAL FIRE. And we welcome all fuel mitigation waste and green waste from the entire county at this moment. We will be announcing future green waste days on our Facebook, so pay attention and keep looking back there. We also just posted a video of how our air burner works and what it's doing for our community. So please feel free to view that. We don't have any green waste days scheduled right now. Again, with like everybody said, we're kind of watching the weather. But as soon as we have something, we'll be posting it. Thank you.
Is there any way you could notify like Giselle when you have those dates? And then we can get that out to our mailing list for our folks?
Sure, yeah. I've been notifying the Wairika Fire Council, but I can add Giselle to my list of who I notify when we post those.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
No problem.
yeah, that's awesome. It's open to the whole county. I did not realize that. That's huge.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yes, it's a regional fuel mitigation project. So and while we have capacity, it is open to the entire county.
Great.
Very
And
nice.
I didn't want to forget CORE. We had a number of our CORE partners on tonight. Did you guys want to do an update at all?
No updates from us. I think Josh covered everything. Unless he's got anything to add. Nothing from HQ.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
Matt.
you.
All right, so did I skip over anybody, or did anybody have anything, questions? I see we got a few other people came in during the meeting. If
Heidi
you guys,
George is on, and she is trying to start a Firewise community here in Mount Shasta. I don't know whether she wants to introduce herself or not, but, and I don't, who's Bruce Shoemaker? That sounds familiar. Do we know you, Bruce? I think we do.
Yeah, he's the Dunsmuir Powerhouse volunteer extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Hi.
oh, hi, Heidi, go ahead, Heidi.
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Sounds
Mm.
like, yeah. All right, so I'm putting together with Giselle and Kristen's support the Gateway Firewise community. And we're just discussing boundaries right now, but it would be from federal land to the north along the Shasta Ohm.
Great, I'm going to be on a Zoom call just for a second where I'll be talking.
Hey, Bruce, we can hear you. Trail. That's kind of away from the Gateway trails, kind of on the other side of the Gateway Trail. And then it would go all the way east to the foothill. And the foothills kind of above the oak forest and the railroad tracks, and pick up, it would be an existing evacuation zone that goes all the way to the foothills to the east. And then to the west, it would pick up everything along the Ski Village Road to the Vista Road, and then the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Department and the old Nestle water plant. That would be the western boundary, and then it would drop all the way down to Shasta Road, which is just a little bit outside of this evacuation zone, and it would be along the north side. That's the general idea right now, and I can't tell you how many homes, but I'm very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to pulling this together.
Great.
Thank you, Heidi, for taking that on. It's a big job, but a worthy one.
Yeah.
We'll get some assistance for you. We'll drill down and find somebody. So does it include, how does it go across Everett Memorial?
Yes.
It goes up to the foothill, so it's going to go up to like Ohm Shasta Path
Mhm.
and that whole, all the houses off of Everett Memorial there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The vegetation types are similar. So I'm thinking that contracting for things that would treat that particular problem, those issues that go along, would be pretty similar. So, you know, I'm not sure what that would look like yet, but contracts with mechanical equipment would be treating similar type vegetation. And then in terms of fire behavior, Julie, I really wanted to run this by you too, Julie Titus. But I'm thinking that this area is all really within a similar upslope wind, you know, concern. And also, you know, we've got the track area immediately below on the south side of Shasta Avenue. And I have spoken with someone who I'm trying to nudge along to take that area. So we'll see if she's has worked for CAL FIRE in the past as a firefighter. So we'll see if she's going to take the bait on that one.
Yeah, maybe I can talk to you sometime. It's a fuel break project? I didn't hear the very beginning.
So Julie, I'm just starting the Gateway Firewise community.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. If if you'd like to chat sometime.
Yeah. So I just need your phone number and I'll text you and call you.
Sure. Okay. I'll put it in the chat or a chat to you.
Yeah, and I can get that
Or
to
you can do it, Kristen. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can pass it forward.
Yeah, I'll get it to you,
Okay.
Heidi.
Okay.
I didn't realize you were thinking that quite that big. That's
Yeah.
so we'll have to get some neighborhood captains in place, like kind of like
Yes.
your
It's a big,
fireworks.
it's a big area for fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah, that Shasta Vista area though is really, wow. I know the area from, yeah. Anyway, good. Sounds good.
Right. It would exclude the KOA. So, I could have gotten a little bit more enthusiastic, but I just in terms of how homes are, the size of the lots, and then the type of vegetation, and then the position on the hill slope.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kinds of equipment to treat that, and then focus on ingress, egress. I'd like to just focus on like 5 feet away from everybody's house. Just number one.
And you've got everybody on board, or you're just starting?
No, I don't have anybody except the few folks that I've run into.
Okay, that's always a challenge too.
Well,
getting
I wanted,
yeah, but great.
if I could get inside of a CAL FIRE flyer, get the addresses, and but
oh, I'm sure there's tools for sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great.
And so we can work on that, and we're excited. So
yeah, good.
That's great. Good.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, Heidi.
Bruce Shoemaker has his hand up.
I thanks, Giselle. I see that. Bruce, you're next.
Hi, thank you. I had a question for Erin Ryan that I wasn't able to ask earlier if she's still on the call. I'm a landowner in Weed. I have 50 acres of land in the outskirts. Have done a lot of fuels reduction work, done prescribed burn in cooperation with the Prescribed Burn Association. Last September, I signed a contract with NRCS for assistance with fuels reduction, wetlands restoration along Black Butte Creek, a tributary of the Shasta River. It's part of the overall fuels reduction work we're doing, to be a good community neighbor in Weed. We've done 2/3 of the work, and it's a cost reimbursement grant where we were supposed to finish at least 2/3 of the work before we get a payment, and then a final payment on inspection. I called to request a repayment, and I'm told that that grant is not funded now because it was Inflation Reduction Act money that NRCS had. And I want to ask about that because it's a signed contract. I've put out over $10,000 of my own money that's supposed to be reimbursed by NRCS. And now I'm told that they have no idea if they will have it on any time frame or if they'll ever have it. And to me, it seems extremely unfair and probably illegal to do something like this to a landowner who's made a good faith effort to do fuels reduction work, and to have their grant canceled after they've done the work when it's a reimbursement grant. So would just like to ask about that. Thank you.
I don't know if Erin, are you still here? There she is.
Yeah. No problem, Bruce. Yeah, that sounds kind of crazy, actually. Did you get my information in the chat?
I did, and I'd be happy to email about that with you or call you later tomorrow.
If you shoot me an email, I'll send you, I kind of made a note in there just rather than interrupt, but I sent Giselle kind of the criteria that we had come up with just to try to get some information from people so that we would have that if they were having trouble with their grant, and I could send that to you. If you want to just fire me an email, I'll send it to you, get that information, get you an answer.
Sorry.
Sure. Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Because that sounds kind of nutty.
It seems nutty to me.
Yeah, I think it's nutty. I say we fight him. I always say we fight him. That's always my answer. Let's fight him.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's one of the reasons this meeting is for, to make those contacts and get information out and share it. And if I don't have anything else for the open forum, then our next meeting will be March 12th. Hopefully a little bit warmer and not so much. Bruce, there's something in the text for you, I believe. So from Chris, but we'll see you March 12th. If not before. So I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
And
Appreciate you.
if you have any questions, put it in the chat. We'll we record the
And
meeting.
Bruce, I think Erin's going to send you that information about contacting her. If not, I will. Just email me, let me know where you're at, and if you need me to respond.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, you.
Julie.
Thanks, you guys. Be safe.
Thank
Come
you.
happy again.
Thank you,
Take care.
Jamie.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.